everybody, I am not Sandy, but welcome to Sandy's Travel and Gardening Adventures. My mother is away in Florida this week, so I will be posting for her. My name is Michele, and today I'm going to make a homemade apple pie. Normally, I would use Granny Smith and Gala apples for a pie that is more tart than sweet. This is how my Grammy and great-grandma made it, and that is how I like it. However, this pie was not planned, and this is what I had on hand. I'm predicting that these apples are going to make a sweet pie, so I won't have to use a large amount of sugar for the filling. Peel your apples any way you want to. I prefer using a knife because it feels like I have more control rather than if I would have used a peeler. I'm going to peel 6 apples, but I have a feeling I'm going to need more than that. I'm going to quarter and decore my apples. I do this in my hand rather than on a cutting board because it is faster for me. I don't cut myself anymore because I learned the hard way. I try to get the apple slices 1 to 1.5 centimeters thick. Anything bigger will take longer to cook, and anything smaller will make applesauce pie. I like applesauce with pork chops, not in a pie. To see how much apple slices I have, I pour them into the pie plate. If my apples don't fill the plate enough, I will cut more. If there are too many, I get a snack. I don't have enough, so I will magically make more appear. So I don't have another dirty dish in the sink. I'm going to reuse that orange bowl to make my filling. I like a little bit of salt since these apples are really sweet. Sugar. Clove. And nutmeg. And I did not forget the cinnamon. I like to mix this with my hands. A spoon usually breaks up the slices, and I like to keep their forms. Next, I'm going to grease and flour my pie plate using Crisco. I prefer Crisco because it will not mix with the flour in the pie crust like butter would. I'm not going to show myself sprinkling the flour. Instead, I will magically do it because I did make a mess of it and had to fix it off camera. Now it's time to roll out my bottom crust. Both my bottom and top crusts were made the previous day and had spent the night chilling in the fridge. I took them out to warm them up on the counter before I started peeling the apples. I am sorry, the crust recipe was not recorded. It is easy to make them, but it takes a long time and I did not want this to be a long video. I messed that up, but once I get it to where I want it, I lift the edges of the crust so that its own weight will push itself down into the crease of the plate. I want as much filling real estate as I can get. I'm going to pour the apples into the pie plate for real this time. If they are piled too high in the middle, I will rearrange them for a more level pie. If they are not level across, the apples will cook down but the top crust will stay put high above the apples. Time for the bottom crust. While I roll this out, my oven is now preheating to 350 degrees. Well, that was easier than the first time. Once I get it seated right, I'm going to cut the excess crust off and put it to the side for later. Now I'm dipping my fingertips into cold water, dabbing them in between the two crusts, and then gently patting them together. The water, combined with the flour and the crust, will act like a glue. One more fold over will further seal the pie. To make my pie look nice, I'm going to pinch the crust between my index and middle finger to make little ridges. Using the leftover crust, I made some decorations and stuck them on using cold water. I also cut steam holes to allow the pie to breathe while cooking, so it won't explode. Butter will act like a moisturizer and sunscreen for the pie crust. I put it in every nook and cranny. I place the pie on a baking sheet to prevent any accidents in my oven. Wrapping the pie in a tinfoil shawl will further protect the crust from burning, especially around the edges. I ended up cooking this pie for 50 minutes. Well, I want to thank you all for watching today and visiting my mother's channel. She has many wonderful videos on gardening and travel, so I recommend sticking around and watching those if you have not. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day.